Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Pondering the Process, where we embark on a journey of discovery with some of the most creative minds in the community and explore the making of their latest projects. Today we're speaking with Jason about the recently commissioned piece of his where he symbolizes the message of speaking life into the United States of America. Stay tuned for a thought-provoking discussion with this talented artist and the message he's trying to spread with his work. Hey Jason, how you doing?
All right. Well, man, I'm ready. I'm excited.
I am excited too. But before we start, I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking your time to come talk to us about your piece. And I just want to say that I really appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for thinking about me. The inbox was a big surprise. I didn't see it coming. So when you inboxed me the question, number one, I thought you were a scammer. So I had to check out your page, and you supported several artists that I already know that has been killing the game so far. So I was like, oh, okay, so they're legit. All right. So I responded back, and I was like, yeah, I would love to do it, most definitely.
Yeah, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you again. Okay, so we can start talking about your piece. First things first, I am a fan. I really like it. It really stands out. I like the way you have a lot of contrast in there, and it's not the orthodox way of painting people. Like, I can tell you have your own style, right? I really love that. So, what was your inspiration behind this particular painting, and did you have a specific message in mind?
Okay, so there's this song called "This Is America," right?
Yeah.
And it was created by Childish Gambino, one of our big time stars and everything like that. So when he created this song, and I was listening to it, I was like, man, I see where he's going with it. However, like, why not use your platform to speak life? So what I did, I had took the song that he made that did nothing but speak death over America, and I want to speak life to America. So that's why in the painting I got multiple kids from different nationalities, and all of them are used with the same color palette. It's to show that even though we're quote unquote different colors, we should still be united. So when I painted that piece, I had a specific goal in mind that the best way to make America great is to make America unified. So that's why with this painting, is all of them are so together and they're looking towards the future. They're not looking behind them. So that's what's the inspiration behind this piece.
I love that. I love that. So you're looking more into unity as opposed to speaking about division.
Yes,
I
sir.
love that. So then you just mentioned about how the children are from different ethnicities, right? So then what are your thoughts on the importance of diversity and representation in arts?
Oh God, my opinion is very important. I believe everybody should have a platform. I believe everybody should have a sense of inspiration. For example, with me, where I'm from, I'm from Memphis. So um there's no artist in the hood that I'm from. There's no artist in there. And if there is an artist, it's one of those artists that's very hidden because he don't want people outside to know that he's creative. He don't want people outside to know that he has a dream to come successful in life outside of dribbling a basketball or anything like that. So when I was growing up, I wasn't shown culture. I was only shown, my circumstances. It wasn't until 2013 where I got exposed to a bunch of different people. I got exposed to things that it helped me grow as a person. So when it comes down to us as artists, it's very important for us to have someone to look at. Like, I believe in telling any young child that's from the same hood that I'm from that you don't have to um, go the criminal route. You don't have to go the criminal route. You can go the route that's actually clean. And I met a lot of young artists from South Memphis that need someone like me to tell them that, hey, you can be successful in doing art. You can be successful in following your dreams. So it's important for anybody to see people that's doing what they're doing to actually feel successful themselves. Like that's very important.
I love that. So you're just telling everyone that you don't have a predefined path for you. You can take multiple routes to success and not what everyone thinks you have to do.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. I love that. That's a pretty strong message you're trying to send there. I'm a fan. I like that. So then, basically, right, looking at the piece, all the children are in a line. You focused on the side view and they're all looking forward at the same time, right? Were you aiming to convey something in particular with these poses and also like their facial expressions?
Yes. So, oh my God, man, that's a beautiful question. So, with their facial expressions, I wanted them to convey a sense of hope. So, as you can see, if you look at the picture, their eyes are wide and they look focused because a lot of us in 2023, we're not focused on the future. We're focused on now, but we're not focused on the future. And with this painting, I wanted these kids to be wise beyond their years. I want every adult to look at this picture and feel some type of way that, okay, if these children, and they're no more than 10 years old, if these children can look to the future with such focus and such intense and such hope, then why shouldn't I? I found out that some of the best teachers I've ever had were kids. Like, I studied under a child before, and when I tell you that their way of thinking is so outside of the box, you can learn a lot from a child. The best thing to do is listen. So, like with facial expressions, I wanted to make sure that they were like super intentional, super focused, super eager for the future, and make sure that when people look at it, they feel the same exact way.
I love that. So then, how does that relate to the child that's clutching the American flag as well, right? What symbolism does that hold in relation to, you just talked about how you want them to look wise beyond their years. So how does the holding the American flag also add to that symbolism?
So for me, the American flag adds to it because in this time, America is we're not being our true identity. And if you look at the painting first, and I had this conversation with on somebody. If you look at the painting first, it's the black kid first, and then it goes down the line. Now, why I put it that way? Because number one, I didn't want anybody to assume that a African American kid is less than anybody else that's on this painting. So I wanted to read this like a book, left to right. So the African American kid is first, and right behind the African American kid on top of her shirt is the American flag. Because I want us to understand that America is not the white man's country. I've done a lot in America. Now, granted, I want to travel as well. I've done a lot in America. America has taken a child like me from the lowest circumstances and has put me in a comfortable position. And I want a lot of people to understand that it can happen for you as well. Now, America is built on, of course, systems. Everywhere is. But when you learn how to defeat those systems and understand that those systems that's quote unquote here to defeat you can actually help you. Like Eric Thomas is one of my favorite motivational speakers. I can listen to that man for hours and not skip a beat. And the way he talk about America is so inspirational to me. So when I put that American flag in there, I wanted people to know the message behind what I'm trying to paint. I wanted them to understand that, in my opinion, America is a beautiful country. We just need to help unify it. That's all we need to do. America is, I can't speak for no America is the home of the free, the land of the brave. The best way to fulfill that prophecy that has been spoken over America, the home of the free, land of the brave, is to come together. So I want that American flag to stand right there, so people can see it, and that's one of their eyes go to it automatically. So that's why I made sure I put that in there.
Interesting. I can also see the Martin Luther King piece behind you, so it looks like that's really your ideology.
Martin Luther King, one of my favorite heroes of all time. Like, man, if I would have had a chance to meet him, I probably would have fainted. If I Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, like, if I would have got an opportunity to meet these guys, I would have froze. I would have fainted. Probably would have heard a quick squeal, and I would have froze. Like, no lie.
It's great that you're still working on the message that your heroes were trying to send. You're still trying to send that message through the way you can, which is through your work, through your art. So, kudos for that. I love that. So, like I said before, right, it's obvious you have your own style with this. I love the variation of colors and everything. So, could you share your medium and your techniques that you use to get this done? And, if you can highlight any specific challenges that you faced, just for people who are trying to start out, right? Those who want to know what the secret sauce is in Jason's process.
Oh God, man, that's okay. Okay, all right. Where can I even start? Number one, I use all oils. I have a paint section. I say a section, but all of this right here is oil. Everything that's behind me over here is oil. So what I have learned, that when it comes down to my particular style of painting, oil is the best. Now, I'm not down to anybody else out there that use any type of medium, but oil is the best because it gives me the opportunity to lay on thick brush strokes. I don't only want people to see my artwork, I want them to feel my artwork as well. So the secret sauce behind my particular style is color engagement, color theory, and understanding what the color is going to do to somebody's mood. What do you want to convey? Do you want to demonstrate love? Do you want to demonstrate passion, anger, rage? You painting somebody, do you want it to look like them or do you want it to feel like them? So what I make sure I do with every client or every painting I do, I make sure that I measure the colors side by side with their skin tone, and I make sure that I understand who they are, what their message is, and why they started on what they started. So it's more than just art for me. It's more of a connection for me. So the secret sauce behind what I do for a living is just learning people and then painting them beyond their facial expression. That's the easy way I can put it. It's kind of difficult, I know, but it's just all about learning people, understanding.
I love that. So it seems like whenever you want to start a new painting, be it a life painting of someone, you want to not only show that, okay, this is how the person looks, you want to show this is how the person feels inside, right? So you might just have some elements that you add by yourself just to show that, which is pretty good. I like that. So then, does that pose any problems for you? Like, does that bring up any challenges on its own?
All the time. But I'm competitive. I love challenges. It's one of my favorite things. And the best way around that is to revert back to your training. See, I went to school for this as well. And my art style back in college was realism. So I'll put it to you this way. Even if you're self-taught, when you taught yourself the foundation. So I look at art like I'm flying. Anytime a pilot go through a storm and they can't particularly see what's in front of them, they always revert back to their training. They revert back to the origin of the traditional flying. That's what they revert back to. So any type of problems that I come up against, I revert back to my training because I know that even if it's not looking right on the canvas, don't overthink it. Have fun. Pull back. Look at the picture and see how everything is engaging with one another. And then just go off of your creativity even more. So when a problem comes up, don't stress. Like I said, pull back, engage a little bit more, and then attack. So it's just all about reverting back to your training. That's all it is. So it's muscle memory for me right now, even when I mess up.
Yeah, it must be pretty easy for you right now because you've been doing this for a while.
Right now, it is so easy. Like I've been painting for 10 plus years now. I've been doing art for 20 plus years, and it has just been a walk in the park. So, even when I mess up on a painting, it doesn't even look like I messed up. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you've gotten to the level where you can basically cover up your mistakes and make them look like features, per
Oh
se.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so then do you have a title for this piece?
Oh man, yeah. So the name of this piece right here is called "The Colors of America," and I made sure I named it that because I don't want no confusion. So I made sure I named it "The Colors of America" because we all make no color is greater than the other. That's the best way I can put it. No color is greater than the other. All of them are beautiful by themselves, but together, it's even more beautiful to look at. So the name of this piece is called "The Colors of America."
I love that. I love that. You're sending a message through both the title and the piece.
Yes, sir.
Love that. So then, based on that, right, do you have any advice for aspiring creatives who would like to reach your level in the game? Remember how you earlier talked about showing artists in Memphis as well who don't know that they can use this as a path to success. Do you have any advice for those guys and also other artists around the world trying to get to your level?
I would say this: just get started. Look at me as a stepping stone, and go above and beyond what I've done. I love telling young artists that don't inspire to be like me, inspire to be better than me. And the best way to do that is to just get started. You can't cross the finish line if you haven't made the first step. And then consistency is key all the time. Look, I'm not the best artist in the world. I'm not the best artist in Memphis. If you put me in a room with 50 other people, I won't even be the best artist there. But what makes me look like I'm top tier compared to all of these other cats is the fact that I'm consistent. It's the fact that I'm always working. If I don't have a canvas in front of me, I'm studying on some of the greats. If I'm not studying, I'm writing. If I'm not writing, I'm doing research. So the biggest advice I would tell you is to get started and stay consistent and always remember why you got started. So that's the biggest advice I can give you. And find someone that you truly love and try to do what they do for a living. And then just try to put your spin on it. That's what I did.
I like that. So basically, what I'm hearing from you is that you, as a person, you're basically always dedicating your life to your craft all the time.
Oh yes. Woo. And it's a journey. It is. Because
Yeah.
there's no finish line for me. There's no finish line for me. There'll probably be a finish line for somebody else, but for me, there's no finish line. I think my finish line is when after I pass the baton to my children, because I got a daughter that loves art, and I want to pass her this, like all of this. I want to give her, my gifts and tell her to run as fast as she can with it. And then once I die, that's when I'm good. but like I dedicate my entire life to this because this is what I can do every single day.
Love that. Love that. I love how you're also looking towards the future and just passing your legacy on. I love that. So then the next question, right, is something that a lot of artists struggle with just in general, right? Because you mentioned to me earlier that this is a commissioned piece, right? So then what's your go-to method for pricing your art, right? Like if someone says, hey, how do you go about telling them how much you're going to price?
I've had this conversation with so many young artists, and like some of them have like tried to argue with me on this, but it's simple. Know your worth. If you believe your piece is $1 million, then price it as $1 million. Take a photo of it and then sell prints. The easiest thing you can do is sell. The hardest thing you can do is master communication. But what a lot of people need to understand that once you learn how to communicate with people, once you learn how to start a conversation and hold a conversation, you are already 50% there. Every last one of my commissions came out of a conversation. And that I promise you. I've never had somebody to just come out of nowhere and say, hey, I want to buy a piece. No, I'm an artist. No, I'm an entrepreneur. Yada, yada, yada. This is what I do. This is why I do it. And then they invest in my dream. So for any young artists out there that struggle in pricing their pieces, know your worth. Struggle with finding customers. It's simple. Find people that gravitate towards your dream. And then once you find them, sell them your dream so they can invest into it. This right here is a dream of mine. And I know a lot of people that invest a lot of money in this dream of mine. You gotta learn how to talk to people. So yeah, that's what I tell artists. Learn communication. Because you're 50% there. You're 50% done with the sales after that.
I love that. That's great advice, right? Because I feel like people underestimate the power of marketing yourself a lot, right? Like I've noticed that a lot of people are always saying how, I'm very good at what I do in the sense like I'm very good at creating my piece, but I'm not the best at marketing it.
Yeah. And if you don't know how to market, you're pretty much behind if you don't know how to market. So a lot of us, we lack the patience to even learn. It took me years to learn marketing. It took me years to learn selling. It took me years to learn communication. But my wife helped me a lot in that. She taught me how to start a conversation with people, and she taught me how to use my words as a tool and not a weapon. And I was very good at using my words as a weapon. And she taught me how to use my words to heal people. That's when I was like, oh, okay, this is how I can actually get a customer and then keep a customer. So it's all about communication.
Amazing. And then do you usually talk to people in person when you're marketing yourself, or do you also use a lot of social media marketing too?
I'm just learning social media marketing, but most of my stuff is always in person. I'm an old-fashioned type of guy, but I had to pivot with the times. So with social media, I found out that it's pretty much the same as talking to somebody in person, but you're just doing it over a screen. So with that, I just had to gain the ability to have conversations with people over a screen. And I'm very uncomfortable. Well, I was very uncomfortable with just talking to a phone screen or computer screen or what have you. But that takes practice as well. I had to wake up every single day and just talk to my phone, or talk into the mirror, and until I got better. So once you master talking in person, you gotta gravitate over to the talking on a phone as well. It's pretty much the same. Just get out your comfort zone.
I love that. All right, thank you, Jason. So that's all the questions I have regarding your piece. Now, I just wanted to quickly talk to you about the Udocreatives app. Right? Have you checked that out by any chance?
Oh yes. Okay. I'm very busy with my kids and everything like that. Like, like I told you, I just put my children down. And it sounds like my oldest daughter is back up. Anyway, I love the fact that your app engages you more. For example, yesterday was Friday, and the app sent me a notification. I've never had an app to do this before, and that's why I was so stunned. The app sent me a notification that says it's finished work Friday, and I was like, this app wants artists to succeed so much that it will hold them accountable. Now I'm not sure that that's necessarily what y'all are doing with this app, but us as artists, we need to be held accountable. Like, the best thing that I've seen from this app is the community, is the conversations. And I joined this app. I joined the app a good minute ago, and I've already had people, complimenting me on what I do, complimenting me on the fact that I believe in family, the fact that I believe in America. I've already had that happen. Like, it took me months to get that to happen on Instagram. Years to get that to happen to me on Instagram, actually. But the fact that your app is building a community around art. Us as artists, we need that. So I love your app.
Oh, thank you. Really happy to hear that, actually. So, do you have any feature in particular that you've checked out that you might say is your best one?
Oh God, I haven't even gone through all the features yet. Sweet Jesus. Man, it's just the app just has so much. I haven't even gone through all the features yet. I'm gonna end up doing that today. Yeah, cause I want to learn more about the app. Cause right now y'all are on the road for me, and I don't say that about a lot of apps.
Thank you.
Maybe 6 apps on my phone. I'm probably gonna delete the other ones. Knowing me.
Thank you. So, let me highlight one feature which I think you would love. I don't know if you've checked it out yet, but this is probably the feature that we made for artists, right? It's called the Journeys feature. So basically, when you go to post, right, there are 2 options. It says, hey, do you want to add a quick post, which means you just put your final piece. And then it says, do you want to start a journey? Now, what the journey is that even before you have your final piece, you start posting your progress shots over time, right? So then when you post your final piece, people can see the story from the get-go to the end on the app, right? So for example, take the piece behind you, right? You could start a journey on the app called MLK, right? You don't even have to know the title yet because you could change that later, right? You could call it MLK. You could put something like, oh, okay, this is my rough sketch of this piece. This is me prepping my canvas. I've painted the first part of this, oh, look, I put the grid. It also shows up on the glances tab in the spotlight page. So people who are subscribed to you or people who see you on the spotlight page are like, oh, so this is what's coming along, right? And then when you post the final piece, people can always just go click on it, click on the journey icon, and then have a holistic view of what you've done to get this piece from sketch to the final thing that you want to commission or sell or show the world, right? So it's such a holistic view. And that's one feature that we love because, first of all, it doesn't put pressure on anyone. Second of all, it brings a lot of recognition to the effort that goes behind creating, and people can have more appreciation for what it actually takes to put something down.
I'm definitely gonna have to start using that. Man, I didn't even see that. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start using that. Man, let's see. Yeah, I like that. So, do you have any more questions for me, or can I ask you a question?
Oh, you can ask me a question for sure.
What inspired you to come up with this app?
Well, so it's a team of 3 people right now. My own side of it was basically when I was a lot younger, right? I always used to enjoy just creating different things. I used to like to paint as a kid. I used to like to draw. I used to read a lot of children's encyclopedia that had small projects, right? So I always knew I was going to go into a field of something that had to do with creativity. But then as I grew older, a lot of that creativity started getting pivoted towards writing software. But I've always missed that part of me that never actually took art and creativity to the limits. So I said, okay, how can I now use my current skill set to connect back to that part of me that was that person? And how can I also use that skill set to help the community and make creativity and art more accessible to everyone around, and not have people use this app as some social media platform, but as a tool to help them grow? Because part of the issues I had too is that I didn't really have too many mentors in that space. But in this app, we don't want anyone to feel alone. So it's now a community of like-minded people all supporting each other. And I felt like that was a way I could use my skill set to connect back to that community.
Man, that's awesome. Man, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Kind of made me wish I would have came up with, but then again, I don't do apps. I don't. I'm old fashioned, like I said. But man, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, because right now it feels like, and that's on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, Twitter, or what have you. It feels like there's really no community there, and everybody is running for the quote unquote #1 spot as an artist. So to have an app that is centered around community, when it comes down to art, that's revolutionary. It is. And like I said, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. So whatever y'all need me to do, let me know. And I'll definitely be happy to do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I just want to say thank you so much, Jason. And one thing I would appreciate is if you just share with your community, share with your friends, tell them, give us 5-star rating on the App Store. That would help us a lot. Thank you. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here, honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This was a lot of fun, and I look forward to having a conversation with you again in the future. So definitely let me know.
Right. I really enjoyed my time. I can't stress how grateful I am, and thank you for the kind words.
Like I said, brother, I had so much fun talking to you, man. It was a blast and great questions. I don't know how big this is, but I hope it gets bigger. I definitely hope it gets bigger. We should definitely do this again in the future.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. Have a great day, Jason. And once again, thank you for being here. All right. Bye.